On a night you rested, you blame yourself. Should I really have rested that much? On a night you pushed too hard, you blame yourself. I have to take better care of myself. You may know this pattern. I have found myself caught in the same mechanism more times than I can count. Whichever way you turn, you land on blaming yourself. For a certain kind of person, this is a familiar piece of daily scenery. If rest invites blame and effort invites blame, there is no place left to stand. So whatever you do, you wear down a little at a time. I am not going to write "Stop blaming yourself" here either. Trying to overwrite the moment of blame with "I must not blame myself" leads you to blame the part of you that blames, and the weight doubles. What I want to share, instead, is a possible handhold, one that may let you grow the time you do not blame yourself, even a little. When I watch the moments my own mind drops into self-blame, a common pattern shows up. The ground for the decision was only the feeling in that moment. When you rest because in that moment you felt tired. When you push because in that moment you felt you had to. Either way, the reason is the feeling in that instant. On the surface, it looks like a natural way to decide. The trouble is this. A decision grounded in feeling reads as thin when it is questioned later. Did I really need to rest that much? Was that too hard on myself? The later you can keep rejudging the earlier you, as much as you like. And the later you is usually in a bad mood. Stuck in regret, or tired, or carrying some other worry. The earlier you gets rejudged through that bad mood and ends up sentenced as the wrong call. That, I think, is the inside shape of how self-blame keeps generating itself. The ground for the decision was a feeling, which leaves room for endless rejudging later. To put a small distance between myself and that mechanism, I have been testing one practice. It is this: decide what you will do with intention. The night before, decide, tomorrow I rest. That morning, decide, today is heavy, so today is a day I take care of myself. Either is fine. What matters is this. Rather than being carried by the feeling, you carry a deliberate decision. Deciding ahead, when you are calm and looking a little forward at yourself, lands cleaner later. For example, next week has a major event, so tonight I sleep early. Tiredness has been piling up this month, so the next weekend stays open. So that the me 3 months from now is not stuck, today goes to learning. That said, the same mechanism still works when the heaviness arrives suddenly on the day. Today is a day I take care of myself, decided with intention, lets the call become your call, and you can stand behind it. There is nothing wrong with resting on short notice. What hurts is resting on a wave of feeling and then asking, for the rest of the day, was that all right? After deciding, you move without hesitation. The reason is simple. The decided you has taken responsibility for the call. You no longer have to keep asking, was that all right? The one who decided was the decided you. The one carrying it out is the present you. You can hold the two apart. There is a structural shift sitting here, I think. Inside self-blame, judging, doing, and evaluating all collapse onto the present you. The present you sentences the past decision, doubts the present action, and fears the future result. One person carries everything. That is heavy. Deciding with intention separates these roles. Judging is carried by the decided you, the you in the moment of deciding with intention. Doing is carried by the present you. Evaluating is carried by the future you. Each version of you can focus on its own role. The present you can pour itself into doing. The "was that all right?" question no longer belongs here. The one who asks it lives in a different slice of time. What is happening, in short, is dividing the roles inside yourself. A small piece of the load is taken off the single you who otherwise carries everything. Whether you decide the night before or that morning, the structure is the same. This is not a cure-all. If a situation you had not expected appears after you decided, you can decide again. I had decided to push tomorrow, but this morning is heavy, so today is a day I take care of myself. That redeciding is also intention and action. The aim is not perfect execution of a plan. What this practice really gives you is release from having to ask, in this very moment, is this all right? It is not for building a perfect plan. It is a tool for making right now a little lighter. What matters is not whether you followed the plan, but whether intention is present in each decision as it comes. The you who decides is also the you who decides again. This is not giving up on judgment. This is placing the moment of judgment in a time slot where self-blame cannot drown it. Trying to cover your whole life at once becomes heavy in itself. At first, one decision a day is plenty. Before sleep, decide one thing: tomorrow morning I will do this. Or the moment you wake, decide one thing: today I will do this. Today is a day I rest myself. The timing is up to what fits you. When you carry out what you decided, a small lightness may pass through you. That, I think, is the sound of one piece of room for self-blame closing up. A little time appears inside you where "was that all right?" does not need to be asked. Once that lightness has been felt, add one more. Little by little, the time you do not blame yourself widens through the day. You do not need to stop blaming yourself. trying to stop leads you to blame the part of you that blames. There is, though, a handhold that may grow the time you do not blame yourself, even a little. In place of being carried by the feeling of the moment, decide with intention. The night before is fine, the morning of is fine, even the moment you suddenly say today is a day I take care of myself is fine. The decided you takes responsibility for the moving you. That alone closes the room for self-blame, piece by piece. Rest or push. Inside the mechanism where either turn lands on self-blame, you are not alone. What you are feeling is not weakness in you. You do not have to erase it completely. A little lighter is enough. My hope is that more people can step out of the self-blame loop and live trusting the actions they choose. From Naya Nairo, The 7-Colored Fluff.